Rome, 44 BC, a city of marble and might, but today just a ruin in the Italian sun. A chill wind blows across the Forum, the political center of the world. Here, senators met to plot and scheme to make and break emperors. But one name towers above them all: Julius Caesar. Born into the first triumvirate, the most powerful group in Rome, Caesar knew his way around the Senate. He was also ruthless, cunning, and ambitious. With each careful move, he gathered more power and influence until he was the most dominant force in Rome. But even as he basked in the glow of victory, danger lurked around every corner. For Caesar's meteoric rise had made him many enemies, and on the Ides of March, their anger would boil over. This is the story of how Caesar became a god. Part 5, Rising Through the Ranks. Rome, 100 BC. Julius Caesar, born into the Julian clan, was destined for greatness. But at this time, Rome wasn't ruled by kings. The Republic was governed by the Senate, a group of elite aristocrats who held most of the power. To advance in Roman society, you needed money, influence, and connections. And the Caesars had all three. They were patricians, part of the ruling class that had been in power for centuries. And young Julius was already being groomed for greatness. His great-uncle was Gaius Julius Caesar, a respected statesman and military leader who had served as Pontifex Maximus, the head of the College of Pontiffs, a powerful religious institution in ancient Rome. But Caesar's true father figure was his great-grandfather, Gaius Marius, an upstart general who had clawed his way out of obscurity to become the most famous Roman soldier of his day. He was a legend, having won 7 consulships, the highest elected office in the Roman Republic, and leading Rome to victory in several brutal civil wars. It was Marius who first recognized Caesar's potential and took him under his wing. At the age of 16, Caesar was sent to military school in his uncle's home province of Further. There he learned the art of war and strategy from the best. By age 18, he was ready to take his place in the Roman world. Part 4. The Gallic Wars. The year is 58 BC, and Caesar has just been appointed proconsul of the northern province of Gaul, today France. For 5 years, he will lead Rome's armies against the fierce tribes that live there. These Gauls are no pushovers. They fight with the fury of cornered wolves, and their druids can turn any defeat into a glorious victory through sheer willpower. But Caesar is up for the challenge. He marches his legions into battle, engaging the Gauls on their own terrain. He fights them in open fields and forests, even crossing rivers to surprise them. With each victory, he adds more land to Rome's growing empire. But the Gauls aren't the only ones watching Caesar closely. Rome itself is in turmoil. Pompey, a rival general, has taken control of the city with the help of its 2 most powerful men, Marcus Licinius Crassus and Gnaeus Pompeius Magnus. Together they form the First Triumvirate, a secret alliance that runs Rome like a well-oiled machine. But Caesar isn't interested in joining their club. Instead, he makes a play for power by marrying the dictator's daughter, Julia. Suddenly, he's one of the most influential men in Rome. Now married into the most powerful family in Rome, Caesar begins to flex his muscle. When he leaves Gaul to take his place in the Senate, he brings with him the spoils of war, including thousands of prisoners and a mountain of gold. Back in Rome, his popularity soars. The people adore him, and the Senate fears him. With the support of the commoners, Caesar could become the most powerful man in Rome. All he has to do is cross the Rubicon. Part 3. Crossing the Rubicon. 49 BC. The year is 49 BC, and the Roman Republic is on the verge of civil war. On one side is Caesar, the brilliant general who has just conquered Gaul. On the other is Pompey, the great general who has defeated the rebellious slaves of Spartacus. Between them lies the Rubicon River, a narrow strip of land that separates Caesar's army from Rome. And it is here where Caesar makes his move. He leads his legions across the river and into enemy territory. The die is cast. Civil war is upon Rome. As Caesar's armies march on the city, Pompey's forces flee. He himself escapes to Greece, leaving Rome in ruins. Now the dictator flees to Greece, where he raises an army to defend Rome. Caesar, meanwhile, returns to his legions in northern Italy. He knows that Pompey has the support of the Senate, but he doesn't care. He's got the people behind him, and that's all that matters. He marches his troops south, conquering city after city until he reaches Rome. It's a long and bloody campaign, but eventually he wins, and when he does, he becomes dictator of Rome. Part 2. Dictator for life. Rome, 44 BC, Caesar's victory parade is in full swing. The streets are packed with cheering Romans. Soldiers march in formation, carrying banners emblazoned with the image of their new dictator. Caesar rides in a golden chariot drawn by 4 white horses. He waves to the crowd, basking in their adulation. But his triumph is short-lived. As the celebrations continue, a group of senators gathers in secret. They're led by a mysterious figure, a former ally of Caesar who has turned against him. Cassius, Brutus, and the rest of the conspirators believe that Caesar has too much power. They want to restore the Republic and return Rome to the days of the old. And they think they have the perfect opportunity to do it during the Lupercalia festival. While Caesar is celebrating with a wild party, Cassius and his men slip away to prepare for their attack. Soon they'll be marching on the city, and Caesar won't be able to stop them. He's too busy partying. But little do they know, Caesar has enemies everywhere, and none of them are looking to make peace. Part 1. The Ides of March. Rome, 44 BC. The time is 44 BC, and Caesar has just celebrated his first triumph in Rome. He stands before the Senate, basking in the applause of the crowd. Senators congratulate him on his victory, but some of them are plotting against him. Led by Gaius Cassius Longinus and Marcus Junius Brutus, the conspirators believe that Caesar has too much power. They want to restore the Republic and return Rome to the days of the old. But Caesar doesn't care what they think. He's too busy planning his next move. He knows that the conspirators are planning something big, but he doesn't know what it is or when it will happen. So he goes about his business as usual, holding court in the Senate and making love to Cleopatra. Meanwhile, the conspirators grow bolder. They send assassins to kill Caesar's friends and allies. They spread rumors and lies about Caesar's plans to make himself king. And all the time, Caesar remains oblivious. He doesn't realize that he's in danger until it's too late. On the Ides of March, as Caesar enters the Senate, the conspirators pounce. They stab him repeatedly, and Caesar falls to the ground mortally wounded. The assassins flee, and Caesar is carried to the Forum, where he dies. The conspirators hoped that they would be hailed as heroes, but the people of Rome weren't fooled. They knew that Caesar was murdered because he was too powerful. They mourned his death and blamed the conspirators for killing him. From then on, the Ides of March became known as the day that Rome lost its soul. Now check out these other videos about ancient Rome. Or watch Origins, the series that answers the biggest questions about our past.